Sousou no Frieren is currently the top rated anime on my anime list. That's for good reason. The anime is really good. It followed the story of Frieren, an elf mage who was part of the hero's party when they defeated the Demon Lord. More specifically, we see what happens after the adventure. You see, in this story, elves have a really long lifespans. To everyone, this was the adventure of a lifetime, a 10-year journey. For Frieren, however, this was not that much. Even still, no matter how little it was for her, the hero, Himmel, left a giant mark on her. When his life comes to a natural end, she regrets not getting to know him better. With that, she embarks on a journey to meet him in the resting place of souls, going through the same journey she did with the hero. In episode 12, A Real Hero, we learn that Himo wielded a false hero sword and wished to one day hold the real one.
僕はいつか本物の勇者の剣を手に入れて魔王を打ち倒す。
Frieden and her party continue their journey and eventually reach the village of the sword. According to legends, a cave near the village holds the legendary hero sword. Story goes that one day, the hero would pull the sword from the stone and, with it, defeat the Demon Lord and bring peace to the world. While visiting said cave, Stark sees the sword still there, untouched, rusting away at the stone.
フリーレン、こいつはどういうことだ？あれは勇者の剣だ。
ヒンメルはこの剣を抜けなかったんだ。
今回の勇者も本物ではありませんでしたか。
ヒンメル。
いいじゃないか、偽物の勇者で。僕は魔王を倒して世界の平和を取り戻す。そうすれば偽物だろうが本物だろうが関係ない。
The hero's sword didn't recognize him as the real hero, but it didn't matter. He was the real hero, not decided by a prophecy or an artifact, but by his own resolve. In Volume 5 of the main story of Blue Archive, we got to know a character with a similar fate, but a different perspective, Goryou Nagusa. She was a friend of Nanakado Ayame, at the time president of the Hyakaroren, staying by her side as vice president. Ayame was exemplary, a true elite, talented, fearless, intelligent. She was the face of the organization, a role model to be followed. Due to that perspective, Nagusa always compared herself to Ayame, selling herself short. That was until one day when Ayame vanished, leaving everyone confused and putting the future of the Hyakaryoren in jeopardy. The role of president fell upon the next in succession, Nagusa. Nagusa, trying to live up to the role of president, has the arduous task of filling the shoes left by Ayame. And now, all the eyes were on her, as she took the seat of her so admired friend. After being suddenly forced in the position of leader, she kept playing a character, or so she thought. Her leadership was admirable and her courage was unmatched. Such actions mesmerized a young Yukari, who would go on to join the Hyakaryoren. But her imposter syndrome kept her from grasping her prestige. She pretended to be strong and faked her courage. She believed herself to be a lie, one that fooled those around her. And she feared the day of reckoning. And that fear brought her to abandon the Hyakaryoren, leading it into chaos and ultimately into collapse. Shuro, trying to break an already fragilized Nagusa, tells of her secret, what happened in the snowfields the day Ayame disappeared. During an expedition to the snowfields, Nagusa and Ayame were attacked. Ayame was taken to the spirit realm, becoming one of the ghost stories herself, while Nagusa could not save her. Allow me to speculate for a minute. You were never my friend, Goryou Nagusa. I don't think these were words of betrayal, disgust, or disappointment, but of someone who believed herself to be beyond salvation, trying to find a way to tell her friend to run. But even after the reveal of what happened that day, the only one that believes Nagusa to be a coward is Nagusa herself. Even her right arm tells a different story, shriveled and weakened from trying to pull Ayame back to our world, burned by the spirit realm. These were not the actions of a coward. These were the actions of someone who did all she could, in the face of unparalleled unknown danger. Nagusa's reminiscence continues. My only desire was to be good enough to stand by Ayame's side. I was afraid she would realize my incompetence, so I pretended. I pretended to be good enough. But one day, I looked back and realized everyone's eyes were on me. I was scared. Because I'm not someone to look up to. They misunderstood my act for reality. You're amazing. You're impressive. You're good enough for Ayame. That's all I wanted. So I struggled with all my might. But it wasn't. It was good enough. That's when Sensei steps in. Much like in every case he's involved in, Sensei is a figure of comfort and understanding. It's fine to lie if it's the way to growth. It's the fake it till you make it, right? He brings a good point. If you lie about being brave and through that lie you face your fears, was it really a lie? A coward doesn't stand their ground, but Nagusa did. She maintained the position of president of the Hyakaryoren, achieving her own admiration through actions, not lies. Faced with this realization and seeing the other members of the Hyakaryoren fighting the monster summoned by Shuro, she once again takes arms to protect Hyakyako, to protect her classmates, to protect her starry-eyed Kohai Yukari, who was also fighting demons of her own. She wields the Exorcist's spell gun, an artifact that can only be used by the president of the Hyakaryoren. She takes aim and... Nagusa is not a fraud. She never was. Much like Himo and the Hero Sword, to be the real one or the fake one, who cares? They both achieved their admiration through their own merit. The hero or the president of the Hyakaryoren, these are tough positions to fill. And both Himo and Nagusa did it through their own resolve. And now, there was no doubt, as even the ancient artifact had made it clear. Of all people, Nagusa was the last one to admit it. She is the president of the Hyakaryoren. That's a lie we can forgive. Sometimes it's human nature to lie. We always want to live up to expectations of our family and friends. Not all lies are evil. When these lies are uncovered, there might be tears, there might be a fight, but then there will be growth, understanding, and forgiveness. There is this slice of life anime, Akebi-chan no Seirafuku. It's basically an anime about girls going to school and forging friendships. In episode 7, our protagonist, Komichi Akebi, sees her friend Oshizu Hebimori with a music magazine. She asks Hebimori if she can play any instrument. Trying to impress Akebi, she says,
ギターはまあね
Komichi, excited, says,
私聞きたいヘビモリさんのギター
Trying to live up to that lie, she goes back to her dormitory and picks up the guitar she brought from home. She nearly gives up, but with words of encouragement from her friend and roommate, she persists. The Fedidi arrives to show Komichi her talent, but after hearing another friend play the piano beautifully, she confesses it was a lie. Even still, Komichi insists. Hebimori gives in and... She's not proud of that performance. But even still, Komichi applauds her. Later that day, she's still practicing. She tells her roommate,
あんな演奏じゃなく次はもっといい曲聴かせてやるんだから
These are the lies we tell to overcome our fears. And to a coward, Overcoming fear is overcoming their own nature. And the story of these people, who overcome their own nature through their own resolve, are the stories that inspires us, time and time again.
What is better, to be born good or to overcome your evil nature through great effort?
でも勇気を教えられる自信はないかな。僕は大して勇気があるわけじゃないってこと。確実に勝てる相手に挑むって勇気があるって言うかな。
I hid. During the raid, I got in a storage space and I hid. Does that make you angry? Why does it matter?
手が震えています。
怖いものは怖いんだよ。
アイゼンと同じだ。
師匠と？
これは強敵だな。
アイゼン、手が震えてる。怖いの？あっさり認めるんだね。
怖がることは悪いことではない。この恐怖が俺をここまで連れてきたんだ。
震え方まで同じだ。
そうか。師匠も怖かったんだな。必要なのは覚